G'day everyone. This is my first video. It's been a while since I've been on the Blade Brothers sort of platform, but anyway, getting back into it. Gonna start doing my own videos, and today's videos are going to be about my cookery house semi-customs, I suppose. They've all got little bits of stuff done to them. Yeah, these are my four. First of all, definitely going to do a shout out to Donny B all day, the one who brought us the Preacher, and a few of the other cool looking knives that you can get from the cookery house. Donovan Chew, Cowboy Seabot, Scab from Choir Boy Cutlery. Now I'm going to do a 22 shout out for you guys and your veterans. I know you guys are right into that. Support your veterans. Good on you, boys. And another shout out to Dean from Orion, another Brizzy boy. Gets into his knives and loves playing with fire. So, rightio, get into it. These first three are the first ones that I got. It all started with wanting the D-Bad Preacher. Awesome blade. This is my go-to for my everyday sort of, not every day, but my chopping duties. When something hard and heavy needs to be done, this is what I go to. I've put it to the test. I've smashed heaps of stuff with it. Done a lot of batoning with it. It works really well. It stands up to the abuse. But I've definitely found out that our timber over here, our gum trees, our eucalypts, basically all of our trees seem to be extremely hard. This does not split our timber like the stuff that you see the guys in the States doing. You kind of got to feel sorry for the knife sometimes with belting through the stuff we got around here. Even our grevilleas that we got in my front yard that I tested this on first, man, they're super heavy duty sort of timber. Anyway, obviously the guys who are familiar with Donny and Scab and those guys, Seabot, you will know all about this, but for the guys who don't, especially other Aussies, you know, there's probably going to be a couple of Aussies will see this. This is the D-Bad Preacher. Blade size is 9 to 10 inches. Haven't measured it, but it's close. It's hard to say. On their website it says 10, 9. We'll go with that. Thickness of the blade, 7mm. And overall weight, I believe I'm only guessing, but you know, it feels like it'd be around that 700 to 800 grams to me. A pound and a half or something thereabouts. I haven't sharpened this. It's done a ton of work and through some pretty brutally hard steel. Wood. Still cuts paper, and I can't believe it actually. Cuts it quite easily, considering the amount of work that's done. It's very impressive. So it does hold an edge. I don't wallop into our hard timber. I'm sure if you were to really wallop and abuse this, like when you see some of their boys' videos and they're really smashing into stuff, I think in our timber you're probably going to roll an edge or put a couple of burrs and chips into it. Although I haven't sharpened it, what I have done is usually pretty much every time I do use it, I get the little chuck muck or whatever they call this thing that comes with your knives from the cookery house. And all I've done is just run this thing up the blade. I don't really believe it's a sharpener. I think all it will do is just straighten out some of the burrs and little flat spots or rolled over edges. It hasn't required much work at all. Like I said, every time I use it, when I'm finished, I just do this to it, and that's all I've done. And as you've seen, it cuts the paper like no drama. So it would be interesting to see actually how much abuse it would take before it would cut paper. Maybe I might do a bit of a smash and show, you know, one day, but there's plenty of videos out there that the other boys over in the States they've done, and holds up pretty well. Just remember, guys, if you're in Australia, just be careful what you belt into, because expect probably a damaged edge, I'd say. Now, as most people know with the cookeries, you'll get these one little knife and a little sharpener thing. I paid an extra $7. I asked to upgrade the little knife, and they gave me it's on their little knife page, and it's the Suck, S-U-K-X. It's a 3-inch blade, it's 4mm thick, still tapers to the handle, tapers to the tip of the blade there. It's actually quite a stout little knife for how small it is. Again, on their site's a little bit hard to tell, but it said 100, 120 to 125 grams, so take your pick. It's not overly heavy at all, but it's an extremely stout little blade. Again, you know, still pretty sharp. So actually not quite as sharp as the Preacher. It's cutting, but not as easy as the Preacher. And I haven't touched this up either. I haven't even used it, so no need to really touch it up at this stage. Preacher's handle. After seeing Donnie and seeing his video about designing it and that, and seeing how big his hands are, I thought that this was actually going to be too big for my hands, because I don't really have the biggest hands, but it's actually an unbelievably good fit for me. Really good. It's not going anywhere at all. It's got the full tang, obviously. It's got a little lanyard in the beak there with the 3 pins. It's super comfortable. I'm pretty sure. After watching a couple of the other reviews from the guy, everyone loves this knife. I'm sure if you get your hands on it, you'll get addicted to belt and stuff with it too. It's cool. It's my go-to for smashing stuff up. So yeah, cool knife. Good on you, Johnny. Good knife. I got all my names put on these 3 here too. It was an extra $3 or something like that. So got my name put on it, my postcode, this little calling card, you know. Alright, second one is, don't know the pronunciation of this thing. I'm going to obviously stuff it. It's a Chain Pure Domestic, the new Gurkha front. This is 8mm thick, this blade, 10 inches long. Still taper, distal taper, down, thins out on the bottom of the handle here, thins out up to the top, which gives you extremely well balanced sort of knife that it feels great in your hand. You can just flick it around sweet. Does everything nice. I haven't used this knife at all for chopping. It's definitely nice and sharp. It'll do the job. What else can I tell you about this? This has got a custom handle. So some of you guys might share the same thoughts I had with some of the other cookeries I've had in the past. I've actually gave a few of them away when I was a bit younger, because I really didn't like just the weight of them, didn't know how to use them, didn't know how to use the momentum in my favour to get the most out of them. And I found the sharp beaks were quite intrusive onto my palm of my hand, and I just didn't like it. When I chop with it, it'd dig into my hand. So when I was ordering this, I asked them, told them my concerns with the knife, with the handle, sorry, and they told me that they were going to take care of that. This was actually meant to be a rat's tail, so not a full tang. So in the custom handle, they've made it a full tang. They've put 3 rivets in there instead of just having the peened over end. It's still peened over in the bottom, but I've got the 3 rivets. So that's extremely strong. Like this handle's not coming apart at all. It's got the little finger groove there, so you know you do get that added bonus, little bit of grip in case you happen to really shove it into something. Hopefully your hand shouldn't run up the blade. I believe they have made this handle longer than usual because it actually doesn't even touch the palm of my hand. So I don't know whether they purposely done that, but maybe that was the way that they addressed the issue of this digging into the back of my hand. So good work. Cost me no extra. So when you are ordering a knife from these guys or thinking about it, send them an email, tell them your concerns, ask them. They're happy to oblige. I found them absolutely awesome to deal with. That's really all I need to show you about that one there. This has just got the standard little ones. The other beauty thing about these knives and the steels that comes with them is they've all got sharp 90-degree spines. Even that one does. The cheap shitty little knife. That one's not quite as sharp, but the D-bad is, and the other 2 little ones on there, they're both very sharp spines, 90-degree spines. So that will flatten out your rolled over edges, but you can use this as your striker for your ferro rod, your flint, your quartz, whatever you might be using. Again, yeah, I like this just for playing around, you know, it's great. Nice and light. I think this one's 450 grams, I believe. And just for the hell of it, spend a little bit extra money with the guys. This is the little biltong. This is from their mini knife sort of section as well. Got my name put into this. Nothing special. It's just like a traditional style. You may not be able to tell, but this is the style knife that I didn't like the handle. Very sharp on the little beak there. I think that's a 4-inch handle, just enough. Wouldn't want to go try and punching that through a plate carrier or something like that. I'm sure your hand will go up the blade, but yeah, it's quite a stout little thing too. 5mm thick blade, 5 inches, and advertised weight in this is 100 grams. Just a mini version of, you know, their run-of-the-line stuff. Buffalo hide leather, scabbard. What else can I tell you about those? That's about it, I suppose, for those 3. And then this one here. Some of you may have seen it, probably a lot haven't. This is the Cookery House Power Hammer. Bowie. It's a hell of a beast. I'm sure Cowboy Seabop, I'm sure he's got one of these. I'm sure that's where I've seen it. This weighs 800 grams to a kilo. It's a big knife, but it's excessively well balanced. Like when you hold that in your hand, it is big, definitely big. What's the blade? 11-inch blade, 4-inch clip. You know, that clip point's actually got to be closer to 5. 4.5-inch clip point. It's not sharpened. Not far off. You could definitely get that a bit sharper if you wanted to do your back clip. What else have we got here? 7mm thickness. Spine isn't 90 degrees sharp on this one. No big deal anyway. I got that's not a concern to me. But power hammer, so it's got a hardened head on the bottom. That's your hammer. I believe they say something about, I think you can use this end for smacking in your nails, tent pegs, etc. And I think they mention using the side for like small attacks and things like that. Everybody who's held this is surprised with how balanced it is, and I believe that extra weight there counters the size of the blade, because it certainly doesn't feel out of place. It's really well balanced. What else have I've carried this around up and down my mate's property, up and down his sort of mountains there, and it's definitely heavy. It's more than you need. It's probably not the thing that you want to chuck on your belt and walk around with. It's awesome just to go, you know, show your mates and have a bit of a giggle and a laugh. I liked it. Overall, the quality on all the knives, like the handle's actually really good too. This is another one. Like these three, the handles are all great. They feel really nice in your hand. They look basic. I suppose they probably are basic, but they just seem to do it really well. I'm very happy with all of them. You get a lot of knife, I suppose, for the money that you're spending. I believe I bought this from the Australian stockist. They have a bit of a special on it. I can't remember what it was. Might have been 155 US or something like that. Just can't quite remember, but just a cool addition to the big bowie sort of section of my knife collection. Righto guys, I can't really think of anything else more to say about these. So thanks for watching my first video, and yeah, hopefully see you again. Cheers.